This is Take 5 with Nanette, and where we actually spend a few moments looking at a nugget of information that has the potential to help all of us change our perspective and learn to think for a change. Today, we are asking ourselves the question, is it possible for us to get a master's in self-discipline, to actually master self-discipline? And I have a friend whose name is Kevin Weaver, and he talks a lot about becoming a master at something. Well, I believe that mastering self-discipline is one of the most important things in your life, because if you don't learn, like we talked about in learning self-control, if you don't learn to control yourself, to control what you take in your mouth, to control what you take in your mind, a lot of people talk about the different gates, like your eye gate, your nose gate, your mouth gate, your ear gate. If we don't learn to control those things, then literally we're out of control of our life. We're living on default. And one of the things we want to talk about today has to do with controlling what comes into our mind through our eyes, through our ears, as in the way of information. I was just reminded of something yesterday when I was at one of the schools I was visiting, and it had to do with talent and giftings and, just whatever you want to call them, that you have in your life. You can have those, and they can actually lay dormant most of your life. You can do practically nothing with them. Why? Because it takes self-discipline and motivation. I mean, come on, it takes self-discipline for you to get out of bed in the morning. So you have areas of your life where you actually exercise self-discipline, and you have areas where you don't. Well, one of the areas I wanted to talk about today is a crisis. It really is a crisis in our society today. And that is I gotta know, I gotta be in the know, it's like this constant drive to have more information. And the interesting thing that I find is, if you think about yourself, you'll actually probably easily come into agreement with this. But there is a point where you get too much information and your brain begins to shut down, where your brain has to either put that away somewhere or compartmentalize it. But when all the information is in your head and it's just swirling around, why is it doing that? A lot of times it's doing that because you don't know what to do with it. You don't even have a compartment for it. And sometimes that's because it's information you didn't need to know. I have a word I woke up in the middle of the night even just thinking about this word, and it has to do with on a need-to-know basis. You can really tell when you trust or feel safe and secure in a situation because you're okay with finding out information on a need-to-know basis. And come on, I'm a coach, and I'm all about asking questions. But sometimes I sit there and I think, I don't need to know. My clients joke because it's very different from counseling. When you come in for a coaching session, I'm not going to ask you I'm not going to sit there and let you tell me, not me tell you, let you tell me about all your past. Because I'm so not going to do that with you either. But I'm not going to let you do that with me. Because what I'm going to want to know is what's going on today. Now, does that mean that those things are not tied in that? Yeah. No, it doesn't. But let's get off that point because that's not really the point I want to make. But sometimes we're taking in information that we actually really don't need to know. And you'll know you don't need to know it because you don't know what to do with it. So then when we don't know what to do with it, what we'll do is look for someone to tell. Because our brain, we were meant to act on information. And or to understand, to know what to do with that information. So when we have this surplus of information that we don't know what to do with, it causes us to shut down. It causes us to become anxious. It causes us to do a lot of those habits that are not productive. So today, I just want you to think about, do I need to know that information? What am I going to do with that information? Is it important to me today? I don't even have to know everything about you to pray for you. I can pray for you without knowing everything about you. Do you have to know everything about a situation before you can pray for it? Think about those things today. And perhaps it'll help you to actually learn to think for a change. See you next time.